All right, it's time for us to look at the papers this morning. Let's see what the headlines across Nigeria is this morning. And I have with me in the studio Dr. Dayo Kayode here in the studio, as well as Sijibomi Adebiyi-Benet, regulars. Good morning. Good to see you both.
Good morning.
Great.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's you know, I was on vacation. I had to take some rest, but I'm back now.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, glad to see you too. Now, let's begin with the Leadership newspaper. Leadership says Nigeria at 61. We can't build a nation with bigotry, nepotism. Northern governors are saying this. And that's on the Leadership newspaper. All right. We're looking at Nigeria's independence anniversary just in a few days, October 1. Business Day is next. Business Day says Nigeria's unending war. And you have to dig deep to understand what the war is about. Okay, that's Business Day. This Nigeria is next, and it's focusing, the headline there is focusing on 2023 presidency. And he's saying that the big race, he said this Nigeria preliminary national survey, of course you get to see the details there. Who will you have as your president post-Buhari era? Okay, there are faces there and all of that, and Nigerians, you know, in fact, if you on social media, there has been posters or flyers of various persons posing, you know, as presidential, you know, candidates or aspirants and running mates and all of that, you know, for some people here and there, but all those are just speculation here and there. That's this Nigeria. Okay, Daily Times is next. Daily Times is focusing on the United Nations General Assembly at 76, or the 76th UNGA. Minority Reps Caucus flares claims in Buhari's speech. Says the speech didn't reflect Nigeria's true position. That's what some lawmakers are saying. All right, but my guest earlier actually said that the speech was amazing. It captures a part of what Nigeria should be saying. Okay, so they're just divergent views here and there. That's Daily Times. Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint says banditry, kidnapping, others, FCT communities resort to self-defense. FCT communities resort to self-defense. All right, we'll certainly look at this as we open discussion shortly. First News is next, and it says Boko Haram invades Yobe. Boko Haram invades Yobe in fierce battle with troops at Babangida town as terrorists kill 17 guards in Sokoto. Really disturbing situation there. Of course, we'll talk about this as well. Daily Trust is next, and it says terrorists attack military base in Sokoto, kill 15 personnel. Terrorists attack military base in Sokoto, kill 15 personnel. 9 fleeing soldiers found in Nigerian village. And district head swears with the Quran over alleged involvement in banditry. And bandits regrouping in Isa forest use camels to attack communities. Some locals are saying this. Really troubling. That's Daily Trust newspaper. Of course, we'll talk about this as we get along. Then let's get to the national economy. National economy says navigational equipment theft threatens vessel safety on Nigeria's waterways. That's national economy. News Direct says forex defaulters, customers threaten banks over names publication. Customers threaten banks over names publication. That's News Direct. The Business AM says Nigeria's mining sector in crisis. $9 billion lost to illegal miners yearly. And foreigners, especially Chinese, big culprits. That is what the Business AM is saying this morning, and that's going to be our last paper we're looking at now. Fine, so let's get into the discussions. If you look at the story on the front page of the Daily Trust, it's really troubling. Terrorists attack military base in Sokoto, kill 15 personnel. This is not the first time that terrorists or bandits or gunmen or unknown gunmen, or as they say, hashtag UGM, unknown gunmen, are attacking military bases in parts of the country. But it's troubling that it's happening again and again and again. And this is something that Nigerians are getting worried about. So let me start with you, Sijibomi, here. What do you make if you see Blueprint says the FCT communities resort to self-defense? Recall that some governors and leaders had said, in fact, Nigerians, defend yourselves against bandits, against terrorists, or against all of these people who come to trouble you here and there. What do you make of this cacophony of issues?
The question to ask is, how far can we go with that? It's part of your constitutional right to life, for you to defend yourself with every means you can. But at the same time, if we go that route, the country or the community may descend into anarchy. The part of the very major responsibility of government is protection of lives and property. And for governors, and even the government at the center, having recollected that a minister said that as well, to now tell people to resort to self-help, as is showing us that they've lost every faith and responsibility in themselves. And how far can we go with this? Am I going to defend myself with sticks? Am I going to defend myself with catapults? How am I going to defend myself? These people are bringing guns. At the end of the day, we will have a situation whereby everybody will resort to buying guns. And if I have a gun in my hand and you have a gun in your hand, and we're both defending ourselves against bandits, what about situation when we now owe ourselves money and we want to use the force in our hands to get things done? So you can see, because how did we get here? We got here, the foundation was politicians arming these people for elections. It wasn't for banditry at the beginning. We've had interviews. So it was after the election, they still have the guns, and they now want to use the guns for their own purposes. Cultists also do the same thing. So how are we going to go forward? And I was on the news yesterday, I saw that the federal government, through the Police Service Commission, is trying to revive, or I don't know the adjective to use now, 3 choppers or security helicopters for the police. And I laughed. In the whole country, 3. A local government in the north will require more than that. So this warped setting and the constitution and federalism we're practicing. Are we going to take a review? Are we going to look at it very well and allow states who are even lazy, but give them the responsibility and see what they can do with it, to have their own security apparatus? In minimum, every state should boast of security helicopters, at least 10, each state. Because even the banditry, the kidnapping we're talking about, how do you run after them? How do you chase them? Are you going to use your legs?
But of course, they will talk about the cost of maintaining all of those. So some security experts have said that in fact, technology should be used, where drones and other technology,
so let me round off. Another thing that I also discovered, because coming here most times is not just for us to talk about these things, but also prefer solutions. Our highways, in some climes, let's not use the normal, in some climes, the highways, even the divider along the highways, are used productively for farming, for agriculture, for plantation. So traveling 2 weeks to Ekiti State, I saw that around Osun State, I could see plantations on either side. And if you are going towards Ijebu, you will see owned by a private person, palm oil plantation.
Rubber plantation.
Yes. So, see, if we utilize these things by local government, by state governments, it will be difficult if you have an oil palm plantation on the sides of the road for anybody, any bandit to be coming in from the bush, because you could see 100 meters, 200 meters into those places. So I don't know what we can do with our governors and our political leaders.
Okay. Well, Dr. Kayode, the issue of arming yourself, or the call to arm yourself, protect yourself, defend yourself, we've heard that from several governors, and in fact the Minister of Defense had said that, or was credited as saying that at some point. And he was saying that, well, you can imagine if the other person has a gun, you have yours, and then we're supposed to originally defend ourselves. But if you are owing me money and you have not paid, and I've told you to pay and you're not paying, and then we resort to using whatever we have, how scenario that can paint, for even out of security issues, so such kind of things can be used. But when those kind of calls are made by government officials, does it depict a loss of hope and faith in the system to defend Nigeria as a whole? Because originally that is the role of government.
Mike, let us have an history of the whole system. Which of them has government been able to have their hold on? Is it even economy? Is it political? Is it education? Is it health? Do you understand? The whole thing boils down to systemic failure. Either anybody likes it or not. And all these things, they are interwoven. For us, I've been saying it. It's not just, and that's why the other time when we're talking about NSAS, I said, much as I would have believed in that convergence of people demanding for their rights, they should have looked at the whole system holistically, not just the police. No, it's beyond the police. If the country is okay, if the police have been taken good care of, they wouldn't be doing what they are doing. Look at banking system. See how much money they deter from one's money. Is that no more killing than even the one we're experiencing? Look at even the lights. You'll be enjoying a particular something on your TV set, and boom, they will just take lights. You know that one it also have effect on your body system. So many things like that. But let's come to the security that they are saying they should harm themselves. Why will they not ask us to defend ourselves when they know that yes, they are failed? Water corporation has failed. That's why you see everybody having boreholes. Electricity, NEPA, they are failed. That's why you see everybody having generators. Okay? Education has failed. We were discussing education on a particular platform over the weekend as regards the Federal Ministry of Education saying a child of this must not write SS this, SS that. I said, look, going to school these days is just like for that child to get socialized with other people. I've experimented it. When you monitor your child with a lesson teacher at home for let's say a period of 4 weeks, send that child back to school, it comes up better. It's something that I have experimented. So these are all issues that we need to treat.
There are still so many schools that students are getting the best out of
how many. The issue is how many of them. Then how many of these our children have gotten access to go to such schools? So these are issues. When you don't have that access, in terms of nearness, in terms of finance, in terms of so many things, you have to provide. Do you get? Now, coming to holding of guns, there was also a time we were discussing about allowing people to hold guns and all that. Our culture might not have been able to develop to that. or like what we have in America. You can buy your gun on the shelf. I've seen it severally where they sell guns on the shelf. But then they still live like a normal human being, even though there are times that you see all these court guys, barons and all that, dealing with them. So yeah, you cannot push down. Even here that we are not even having selling guns on the shelf. Don't you see people fighting with guns on my street early this morning around 4 o'clock? I was hearing gunshots now. Were they police?
No, maybe,
do you understand?
Maybe
so what we are saying is to solve this security problem. One, we have to go digital. All right. Two, we have to empower the police, and we keep on saying it because the police are the closest to the people. If we empower the police, it's only when police doesn't want to work. Oh. If police wants to work, if they are equipped to work, you will see police working. Because they know all the nooks and crannies of the environment. They know it very well. Again, even the posting of police, you have to ensure that you don't post somebody from Gombe to Ekiti as DPO. No. You post somebody who understands the culture, the language, the behavioral pattern of such people into a particular area, yes, so that they will be able to.
But after a while, if such kind of person is posted to any area, after a while, they get used to understanding the network of the place.
No, at the end of the day, they still don't. There is no way you want to understand Ado-Ekiti now. No way. Go to school in Ado-Ekiti for your first degree, second degree, and PhD. Say you cannot know it than me. No. There are some other areas I will take you to. If I take you to somewhere like Girigiri in Ado-Ekiti, you will get lost. Do you understand? Or I take you to Abadulaju, you will get lost.
It's the same way I take you to Ainu.
Do you understand? So what I'm saying is, let us also try. Let the Police Service Commission also try and localize, not 100% do, but then like 70-30. Do you get 70-30?
But that's basically the call for state policing.
I'm still coming there. I'm talking about solutions now. About 70-30. Now, aside from that, look at what Amotekun is doing, especially in Ondo State. If only Ekiti or Oyo, I think Osun too is trying to use. I mean, they are also trying to use that Amotekun, but not like that of Ondo State. If we can have that here, and then these are Ebube wherever in the east, they're also using them effectively. Devoid now, we have to also be careful. Devoid of any political coloration, whereby a particular governor will now be using them against the opponent. Removing that aspect there, it will be the best. It will be the best. Again, there is also what we call village vigilantes. I read in one of the papers over the week. I think late last week, whereby some women in the north, they went to meet, I think the governor or one number or so, that look, there is no gun that can enter them, that they should empower them to be able to safeguard. And they came up with what they have done in the past. Some of these bandits that they have arrested, they have handed over to the police and all that. So all these local vigilantes, they should also get them involved, because they know the in and out of various forests within their locality. So if contiguous villages that they have vigilantes the vigilantes are now working across with each other, you're going to see that every nook and cranny of the whole country will be covered. Then especially the use of drones. We should now come up with the use of drones. The use of satellites, our satellite that is in the orbit. Why is the Niger-Comsat there? Niger-Comsat is there. Let them live up to their billings. The other time you were talking about governors might say they don't have money to maintain helicopters. What are they using their security vote for? What are they supposed to use it for? Is it not to secure lives and properties of the people?
Yeah, well, they say they are securing it, so, it's only when it gets beyond their capacity.
So we should also have those helicopters. You're going to see that even the film that we watch, when there is a security infraction somewhere and police are being called and all that, you see helicopter will just take off. We'll be having area view, and then be giving these people. But then it also happens. It happens naturally.
Yeah.
It happens naturally.
Okay. Now, Sijibomi, as we wrap up now, the point there is terrorists, whether they are Boko Haram or they are bandits, whatever, attacking military bases, the audacity and the guts and the courage to do that still baffles a lot of Nigerians. Now, if it happened once before or twice before, and it is that, okay, fine, we've known this happened before, but now let us ensure that this doesn't happen again, especially after NDA was attacked. I wonder how troubling it is for any other military base in the country to be attacked successfully, instead of for them to be able to prevent such from happening.
If we still think at this point that those things are surprises or something that is not supposed to be, then we're deceiving ourselves. We're not fighting Boko Haram, the local Boko Haram. We're fighting ISIS Africa. Now, what's the tendency, what's the capacity of ISIS? That's what we should look at. We've seen what they did in the Arab world. Coming to that side from Libya to Mali to Nigeria. We see what they do every time, once in a while also in Mali. And there was a time this small country beside Mali also was being attacked every time. So we should not think that these people are jokers. And for me personally, I give my condolences to the families of the slain soldiers, but I see that every time they try to ambush or they try to attack now, the casualty figure is getting minimal, unlike before.
Right.
So that means they are now prepared and better prepared and are even anticipating those things than before. Okay. But what they should do going forward is to make sure that they are on the attack instead of being on the defense.
Okay, we have to wrap it up here now. Thank you so much.